Good morning. It's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. I hope you all had an awesome weekend. Mine was very relaxed. We did the beginners class on Saturday and had a really good time there, as I always do, connecting with such beautiful people. And thank you for joining me, for those who did. And then the rest of the weekend, I did a lot of study, I did a lot of chilling, I watched a couple of movies, which was awesome, and just had a generally sort of chilled out weekend. So before we go any further, I want to say a huge thank you to the beautiful people who've joined my channel. Thank you for trusting me to bring you your readings. And I'd also like to say thank you to the beautiful people who've had my back for such a long time. Like I always say, I feel like I know you in person. I've seen your names and I've talked to many of you. So thank you for joining me on the journey. Thank you all for joining me on the journey. We're going to use the Universal Celtic Tarot for your reading this morning. There isn't too much coming up at the moment, although I'm going to try and look for a date in September for the intermediate classes, because many of you enjoyed the beginners class. You want to take it to the next level. It's much more interactive. I'll help you with your intuition. It's more about you trusting yourself. I can see it in you, but sometimes you can't see it in yourself, which is how it works. So it's about building your confidence and just trusting that all those things that are coming through, you need to put out there, even if they sound silly sometimes. The silliest things for me have been the most powerful messages for the other person. So just remember that. I've learned that over the years. I used to sit back and think, wow, I can't say that to them. Spirit would say, do it, just go for it. And I'd go, all right then. At the risk of looking silly, what does this mean to you? And I'd have people like absolutely falling over themselves. So you just have to trust your intuition. Okay. And other than that, I don't have very much coming up. We'll see how things are this week. If I'm a little quieter than I've been the last couple of weeks, I might get some competitions and things going. We'll see. Okay. Oh, and a happy birthday to Linda, the psychic pin-up today. Happy birthday. Have an amazing day. We'll have to do something later when things go back to normal. All right, it's a lunch date. Okie dokie. So most of you know yesterday was the 8th of August, which of course was a big day. We had a full moon in Leo. Huge changes on the horizon. And if you didn't feel those shifts over the weekend, you might notice over the next few days how that affects you. Sometimes, you know, for me personally, I'll get such a shift that I actually feel the earth moving. It's really incredible feeling. And other times it will be something subtle that I just see kick in over a few days. So be kind to yourself. That's the main thing. Five of Pentacles coming straight out today. So the Five of Pentacles is a card that talks about spiritual lowness, is really where it comes from. This can mean sort of feeling disappointed to the point of feeling quite down. It is a card of being left out in the cold, feeling like you are alone, not really tuning into your spirituality. Sometimes it can mean that you feel separate or that you feel cut off from your spirituality. The thing is, there's always hope with the Five of Pentacles if you ever look at the traditional cards. And in this one, I mean, she's looking at the moon. So, you know, there's always hope with this card. There's always light shining. You can see people on the other side of the window. You can see the light shining in the church. So this card, even though it probably sort of talks about quite a low energy, always talks about you finding something on the other side of something. All right, so we have the Ten of Swords. Okay. I want to say some of you have realized the cycles you've been on. There's no doubt in my mind here that some of you are coming to some sort of energy of realizing you've been stuck on something, stuck in the past, stuck on someone, whatever it is for you. There is a tremendous realization, and maybe that has come as a result of the Lionsgate portal. It might have come as a shift for you. But there's this energy of sort of realization, realizing your negative way of thinking, realizing you may sort of look back now and realize how you sort of get stuck in that negative cycle rather than seeing your way out of it. I saw actually a couple of really good readings, TED Talks on YouTube. I love the TED Talks on YouTube the other day. And this woman was talking, just quickly, because I don't want to get too far away from this, but this woman was talking about studies she'd run about when people get negative and how the negativity affects them, and how it's really difficult when you're in that negative cycle to see that you're being negative. And really the only way to pull yourself out of it is by finding things that help you to see the beauty in who you are. So if I can find it, I'll put it up for you. I did post a couple on the weekend that were very interesting though. And I do post things to share if they shift me or shift my thinking, because I hope then that some of you will get some of that energy yourselves. But the Ten of Swords talks about a cycle finishing. I feel like there's been some sort of realization here that you have to close out a cycle, or that you've recognized a way of doing things that is no longer helping you. Remember, everything can be fixed in that regard. Absolutely. Your mind can be fixed. Your mind is a very powerful tool. It just takes you to understand that it's possible to change your way of thinking. So, cycle finishing out here. Now, I have the King of Swords here, which is quite interesting. I don't feel this is representing a person, although it could be representing your energy. The King of Swords can represent the air signs, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, but it doesn't feel like that energy for me. I feel like you're taking some sort of power back and cutting something out here. There's a real strong feeling of contemplation, but of clarity, of realization, of making a stand, of being ready to cut something out, because the Strength card is here. So I feel like you've started to see beautiful. You've started to see something within yourself here that may have been part of your shadow. And maybe you've been trying to work it out for such a long time. What is this thing I need to close out? What is this thing I need to let go of? And for some of you, you may have realized this is a way of thinking more than anything, I feel here. You may have had a lot of trauma in your life, whether that is as a child or as an adult. For some of you, you've experienced trauma at a much deeper level in the recent past. And when we're talking trauma, it can be as simple as breaking up with someone, having someone leave you behind, having to cut people off. It can be trauma where you've had something more heavier or more deeper happen to you as well, of course. But whatever this is, this trauma has taken you into this energy of maybe feeling you're not worthy, or that it was your fault, or that you need to blame yourself for something. And some of these energies here are what sit within your shadow side. And I feel like with these cards here, you're exposing yourself to something. But with the King of Swords, I feel clarity, wanting to move to the next stage. And then I get the Justice card. So you've completed some sort of cycle. Now, just keeping in mind that this karmic cycle, and I want to do a bit on karma because people have such a misunderstanding of karma. But what I feel here, your energy here would be to remember who you are. So in this lifetime, you may have picked up a lot of things that don't belong to you, a lot of energies that drag you down, a lot of ideas about yourself that do not serve you any longer. And when the Justice card comes through, it says that that has been shown to you somehow. You have seen this for yourself. And the Justice card means completion. And look at this. I couldn't make this up, right? Because this means that you're on your path now to where you need to go. You've had some sort of healing here. And when we say healing here, what we're saying is you've been enlightened here to understand how that negative aspect of yourself draws you backwards all the time because you're constantly questioning who you are. And don't forget, very often when you're questioning who you are, it's not your voice you hear. It's other people's voices telling you who you are. So when I see the star, it says to me that you are now aligned with your destiny, and that clarity with the King of Swords says you're ready for the next phase now. Oh, I love it. I love it. What a gorgeous reading. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups coming through. The Knight of Cups is a card of, we talked a little bit about the Knights the other day. Well, that sounds really cool. Okay, so the Knights are action takers. They're not messengers like the Page. So when the Knight comes out, you know something is happening. And the Knight of Cups represents some sort of offer. It can be an offer of love. It can be an offer of something creative. You could be offered something like a partnership in a creative endeavor. But very often the Knight of Cups talks about an offer of love coming through. This is sort of the proverbial knight on the white horse, I guess, coming in here. All right, let's have a look. Oh, beautiful. All right, look at this. I love it. This knight has a truth here to give you. Something that's going to help you move along on your journey, because you have the Hermit here. And then we have the Judgment card. Look at that. Okay, something is going to come in here. Somebody is bringing some sort of message. You know, I've been hearing this for weeks now. And maybe I'm the messenger. Maybe it's someone you know who gives you a message. Sometimes it can be somebody giving us a negative message or a spiteful or nasty message. But we understand from that message where we have been going on the wrong path or giving ourselves a hard time. Sometimes it can be quite harsh. The truth can be harsh, but the truth is the truth. Oh goodness, I've got something flowing through my head here. That's interesting. So the Hermit and the Judgment card tell me that there is some sort of impact here from this truth that is going to put you on a new path completely, because you're going through some sort of rebirth here. But then I see the Hermit card and I feel like there's a time here for you to do some healing again. And I know from being on the path, especially if you've had a lot of stuff in your life that you need to cast out from yourself, it can be a cycle of healing. And people say that to me. I know I'm not in that alone. You know, you go on your path for a while and then you realize that something is bringing you in. The more you seem to clear, the more you seem to notice or observe what other things you need to work with. It's really evident. It's like all of a sudden things start coming up for you that you've never really looked at before. And you think, well, that was obviously hidden underneath everything else. So now that's something I need to look at. And we become more and more aware of ourselves, more and more the observer of ourselves. And for me, this truth that you're receiving here is going to put you on a brand new path. And the path was always there for you, but this person is opening the door to something here that you've not seen before. And I feel like with this Hermit card, there's like some huge shift that's going to occur for you in order for you to be reborn here. Okay, so we have the Victory card. Wow. All right, and then we have the Moon. Sometimes I see these powerful readings and I think I'm so honored that I can bring them to you. There's work here that needs to be done around something to do with your emotions. Something that you've been trying to manifest here but haven't quite been able to manifest what you want. And I feel that sometimes we sort of get into this energy of you know, we've been trying for so long and we wonder where the very thing we're trying to manifest is. And I really need to say to you here that if you've started putting your intentions out to the universe, please don't think that the universe is not listening to you, because she is. And it's very clear in this reading. There is some sort of rebirth coming to you here, but I feel like for some of you, this is going to be a little bit more work, but certainly a huge victory for you once you get on this path. for others of you, this could be somebody returning from your past here to perhaps disclose something to you or to open up to you. Somebody who also has been through some great change here but has seen the light of what has happened. Whoever this person is has also been working on their emotional side or their shadow side or those deep dark parts of themselves that they didn't want to show to the world. But there's something in the truth here. Look at this. We have the Empress coming through with the Four of Swords all through this reading, and then we have the Hierophant. Look at all these beautiful major arcanas. I feel like for some of you, you're stepping into your Empress energy here. It's like you're lifting something that stopped you from just taking that next step. Some sort of truth that's going to help you move into your own truth here. But I see a lot of healing and a lot of changing, but not changing in a way that you're not being true to who you are. It's changing in a way that you are releasing the person you are meant to be. So you're definitely moving into your own truth here. This could come from somebody who you see as a divine counterpart. Absolutely. The Moon card sits right in the middle of the reading here, talking about emotional, hidden emotional energy. So perhaps someone's had some sort of realization about you. Could be somebody that you knew in your past, perhaps a family member, somebody that you left behind that you perhaps thought really didn't see you for who you were, because you're being recognized here. For some of you, it's a real strange one, but for some of you may be getting callbacks from sort of somebody you've worked for or somebody that you went for a job with that perhaps didn't see your potential. It feels like you're being headhunted here. And it may be from a company that you have previously gone to interview with or tried out for. Because I feel like somebody is coming in for you here that's going to help you see your own value. The Six of Wands with the Ace of Swords says it all for me. But there is something here with the Hierophant that makes me feel like you're really finding your true religion. And when I talk about religion, I'm not talking about man-made religion. I'm talking about that part of you inside that really understands your true purpose. Because for me, this feels like you're attaining some sort of stability that's going to put you on the path to where you want to go. Perhaps you've been trying to manifest this for so long. It may be a career, it may be a relationship, something you've been trying to manifest for a long time. And it's like the universe is aligning all of the elements here to bring you into that alignment. All right, let's just have a look at the mini read and we'll see where we're going. All right, so we have this emptiness, this loneliness, this feeling left out in the cold. But I feel like you're finally realizing that you've made it to the end of a cycle here. I feel like you're taking some sort of action to cut something out and move on. The Strength card tells me it was something to do with the deeper part of you, especially with the Moon card here, that perhaps you were keeping hidden or perhaps you didn't really see before. Sometimes we see things and we think, I didn't realize I even did that. But what I can tell you here is that some sort of karmic cycle is about to close for you. You've got some sort of energy of something coming to the surface that you've not seen before. And it's like you've got this epiphany and gone, wow, I never realized that. And for some of you, you may have had something traumatic happen to you in the past that you have been looking through the glasses of ever since. So sometimes when something happens to us, we find reason to blame ourselves for it, and then everything we look at is through that same lens. So it's like you're holding yourself responsible for something here that is not anything to do with you at all. I see something coming through, some sort of, to me it could be a person here. Possibly a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio coming in with some sort of message here. There's so many major arcanas here that it could be, you know, Taurus, Virgo, Libra, more Taurus, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. whoever this person is coming towards you has some sort of message for you that's going to help you to understand how you've been seeing your life for so long, or how you've been seeing yourself for so long. And maybe this person hurt you in the past or created a lot of pain for you. And maybe you've been looking through that lens ever since. I mean, for some of you, it could be even a parent. But there's sort of this energy of somebody coming in to show you, to reflect back or mirror to you something about yourself that's going to help you see your life differently. And it's changing everything because you're completing karma. I'm not going to put any more cards on that. Look, 9 of Cups. You're about to bring something beautiful in here. There's a wish coming true. All right, we will read from the Wisdom of the Oracle today. I pulled these out. I haven't had these for a little while, so tuning in. Nope, we do not want to. Nope, we do not want to. Higher power. Alrighty. Number 4, and I've been seeing 4s, or I always say to people, 4s are the number I see the most of all the time. I went onto somebody's site to look at something the other day and it was all 4s. It blew me away. Okay, this is about conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. This card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of your connection to spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation. What is the highest good for all? How can I serve? Then get out of your way and trust that there is a plan for your life more wondrous than you can ever know. You are always protected and divinely directed. So don't ever ask yourself, why hasn't this happened to me? I've been asking it for ages. Where is it? Because just ask yourself why you weren't ready before. Because something is waiting for you to be ready to bring this into your life. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.